También las tropas del presidente Bashar al-Assad avanzaron al norte de Siria. Y hoy, de acuerdo con un reporte del New York Times, Rusia también está en el norte de Siria y está ocupando las bases que dejó Estados Unidos. ¿Esto cambia en algún sentido la expectativa o los planes que tenía Turquía?
No, it doesn't change our plans. It's very important to take one step back and understand how complicated and crowded the space in Syria is.
¿Está en esta traducción?
No.
Okay. The Russian Federation is in Syria based on an invitation by the regime in Damascus. They entered Syria after certain developments. So why they are there is a completely different discussion that one should ask President Obama, not President Trump. Iran also has a big influence in Syria. In the meanwhile, our European and American allies have very limited influence on the situation in Syria. Why this is the case you can find it in the recent history of the Syrian civil war. But Turkey has been left alone to deal with this situation, and so we have dealt with it, talking with the Russians, talking with the Iranians, and trying to destabilize the situation. You'll remember whether in Idlib, whether in Aleppo, in Hama, Homs, to try to de-escalate, to make sure that the civilian population is not impacted by the operations that the Russians and the regime in Damascus are conducting. Now, in this current situation, there are reports, yes, unconfirmed, that the YPG, which is the terrorist organization affiliated to the PKK, has now come to an agreement with Russia and the regime in Damascus. This may or may not be true, but if it's true, it's not surprising, because the YPG always had a very close relationship with Russia and always had a dialogue with the regime in Damascus. But because the US, the United States, was supporting the YPG, they were not concentrating on the dialogue with the Russians and the Assad regime, but were concentrated on trying to carve out a state in northern Syria by using the fight against ISIS. So the fight against ISIS was their way of legitimizing the support they got from the US. Essentially, one terrorist organization was fighting another terrorist organization, and whoever won was going to get their own state in northern Syria. Now, of course, after the Turkish operation, the circumstances have changed. So, who they go to, who they talk to, is not very important for us. We will fulfill the goals of this operation. And of course, we will keep talking to the United States, we will keep talking to Russia, we will keep talking to Iran, because ultimately, you cannot reach peace without talking to all of the regional actors. Russia is a regional actor, Iran is a regional actor, Iraq is a regional actor, Jordan also. All of these countries have to be a part of the conversation to find ultimately peace, so that these millions of refugees hopefully can start to voluntarily, of course, return to Syria. Whoever is happy to help in two things: one, fighting terrorists, eliminating terrorists, and two, bringing peace to Syria, is our friend, and we will talk to them.